Actually, yeah, I do think that there's just some things that make you kind of come across as like a full across the board woman.
Okay. Like what? What have I said? That
okay,
comes across as a woman?
The fact that you do
some cocktails in here or something.
You do care so much about body count, but it is only
if a
like
woman cared
one-sided.
if a woman cared about a man's body count, would that make her a man hater?
No, I don't. I think men and women both should.
Okay, so how does me caring about body count make me a woman
Because you don't
hater?
care about your body count by the sounds of things.
When have I ever said that? But
you don't
that
want a
makes
woman
me a
that wants to
promiscuity
wait.
hater. It makes me a promiscuity hater.
No, because that's just one example. But
it makes me
okay,
hold on.
Yeah,
It makes me a promiscuity hater.
That's
doesn't
fair.
make me a woman
But
hater.
are you a promiscuity hater? Because
Yes.
you also say that you do not want to wait till marriage.
Well, yeah, I'm not waiting till marriage to have sex.
But then you're going to sleep with
Hold on.
different
Do you
women.
realize there's a difference of being desirous of a monogamous long-term relationship where you have sex before marriage and perhaps relatively early on in the relationship, and a guy who's like fucking 3 new girls a week? You realize there's a little
100%.
difference there when it comes to promiscuity?
100%.
Now, perhaps a deeply devout religious person looks at me and says, well, Brian, you're not waiting till marriage, ergo, you're promiscuous. But in terms of like sort of the current dating landscape, I would argue that my approach, which is I'm not interested in just f***ing a girl once. If I have
the fact that you said it appears that he's a woman hater, because as I said, I'm extremely offensive on my own page as well, so I get that from time to time. But I think it's more important to understand the context in which these conversations are had. A lot of times men are addressing things because women think it's unfair to them. But as men, we don't really talk about necessarily what's unfair to us. So like body count, for example, we have different attraction triggers. Women don't necessarily care as much about body count, even though in discourse we'll say like, oh, is your body count the same as hers? Your body count should matter too. But when you actually look at our behaviors, women aren't concerned with how many men or how many women the man she likes has slept with, whereas a man is more inclined to be concerned about that because it means different things. Like a guy feels different when he has the town whore on his arm. He doesn't want the town whore on his arm. A woman is not worried about the fact that the guy slept with multiple women, because if anything, she's more concerned about, is she just going to be another one? Is she's going to be a one in his rotation who means nothing to him, and he's just going to screw her and leave like he may have did to other women? It means different things. And anytime we have a conversation about dating and attraction, it's imperative to understand that we are biologically different. We're built biologically differently. Our brains operate differently. So what you find attractive is not necessarily going to be what I find attractive. I'm not as concerned with a woman making money or having resources or status, but a woman is concerned about with me making money, having resources and status. I don't say, well, do you have the money that you want out of me? I don't say that, because I understand that a woman is built different and she's evolved that way. It's for a reason. So I don't pressure women about things that they may find more desirable in a man that I may not be able to offer. It's not the same dynamic. We're different. So a lot of these conversations we have is we operate as if we're the same, as if men and women are the same, and we should value and be attracted to the same things innately in each other, when we don't. We're complementary. We have differences.
Yeah, but I feel like in terms of sex, that's like a stretch.
I think fundamentally, like men and women, we totally value different things.
Yeah.
I think in a perfect world, neither the man or the woman should be promiscuous per se, but I think it's far more damaging for a woman to be promiscuous than it is for a man. And I think a man is going to care more about that, because how would I put it? It's kind of like you're his prize, right? And he doesn't want to know that like everybody hit it.
Exactly.
So is the man not your prize? Are you saying that the man isn't your prize? Like you don't look at your man like he's your prize?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't frame it that way. I would say like not necessarily that he's my prize, but like I'm happy to be with him. I think it's just seeing it as in a different lens. Like a guy will kind of like, he wants to know that you're the woman that every man wants but can't have.
That's weird though. That's weird, selfish. That's ego.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
yeah,
that's
but
the
from,
reality.
that's from, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But
but
that's
that's
how
from a
guy-
moral perspective.
Yeah.
And in actuality, sometimes you have to put morality aside and understand why things happen.
But-
so in this sense, we're trying to understand. We're trying to make sense of why this stuff actually happens, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's mean, rude, unfair.
That's fair, but that is a fact. That is why a man would operate that way, is that he's, again, only thinking about himself.
We're all selfish.
Well, isn't there also
Yeah,
science
that's the human
behind-
condition.
Yes,
You're right.
Yeah,
and-
pair
yeah.
bonding, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it
Yes,
is. All of this
yes.
stuff is substantiated by
So
science.
man or woman.
So yes.
Man or woman. That's where I'm saying I don't think with sex is a stretch, because regardless, it's pair bonding. But that was one example.
The sex. Well, what do you mean by the sex being an example? Could you elucidate on that a little bit? What do you mean by
the body count? It started with body count, and that was
Okay.
just one example where I'm like, well, it's kind of giving woman hater.
But how does
But
that?
no, actually, I did receive clarification in Brian
Okay.
saying that he is not promiscuous, and wasn't trying to imply that if you're not waiting till marriage, it means you're a sloot. But knowing that Brian does hold the same values for himself that he holds to other women, I will.
But okay,
Eat my
so
words.
I mean, woman hater, pretty crazy accusation there.
No, it wasn't an accusation. I just said it sort of comes across
It
that
gives
way
you the woman
sometimes.
hater. It
It's
gives woman
it's
hater.
giving
It
woman
gives woman hater. Okay, how does it?
Okay, one
how does
other
it
thing.
give?
One other example is
Wait,
just like
into the mic, please.
is just there's so often where something will come up and you're like, yeah, and then the bitch will take you for half your money when you divorce. And it's such a broad generalization of women. And it's
Yeah, I don't think I use that language, but
we'll go
how is
back.
it? Well, hold on. Fine, I'll just engage with you on this. How would it be woman hating to acknowledge the current status of family law in this country?
It's a gross generalization of all women that their intent to get married is to just take you for half your money.
It's
Well,
not all.
hold on,
It's not
hold on.
all. It's not all.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think most women who have been married and who would be otherwise entitled to spousal support or alimony, do you think most women let their husbands off the hook in the event of a divorce?
Well, no, but
Okay.
Okay,
So it's a majority of
but-
women. Is it or is it not a majority of women who will seek spousal support and alimony in the event of a divorce?
yeah.
So your
But I
criticism
wouldn't
was
say
that I
their
was generalizing?
intent would be to do that.
What do you mean their intent? Let's
Their-
assume it's not
The
even.
intent
let-
is to stay married.
Yeah,
Let's
the
just-
intent would be to stay married and
well,
never
women
have to put up.
overwhelmingly initiate divorces. It's like 70-80% of women
That's
initiate
sad.
divorces.
That's
Says
sad.
a lot more
yeah.
about men than I think it does
Uh,
women.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know if I
No, it
would
doesn't.
agree with
Personally,
that.
Hold on.
but-
Okay, fine. Let me ask this question. Let me go around the table. I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that men are scared of commitment?
That's not.
Just show of hands. Do you think men are scared of commitment? Do you think men are commitment phobic? This is a common complaint I hear from women. No, really? None of you have had trouble? Maybe a guy you like doesn't want to, he'll f you, but he doesn't want commitment?
Yeah.
None of you
I've
here have.
experienced that.
None of
Yeah,
you
it's
have
a
experienced.
thing.
Come on, none of you have experienced that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
The guy you like
I
doesn't
think
want you.
men are always going to be like the most hesitant to make commitment, but then once they do, it's like they've like made their decision and they're rock solid on it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, okay. Those of you, I know some of you haven't had
'Cause
like
it's a
boyfriends,
big
girlfriends,
decision.
whatever. This goes all the way from like your longest term relationship, all the way to you were seeing a guy you hung out a couple times.
Lol Paladins donated $200. They don't intend to bend the man over when they're happy in love, but as soon as the herfy fees tell her to F someone else, she will have no qualm about taking 99% of your money, forget 50%.
All right. Well, lol paladins, thank you for your message. I I don't know if in a divorce proceeding she would be entitled to 99% of your money, but you'd sometimes do hear disproportionate outcomes when it comes to divorce. So going around the table, all the way from the guy you dated for the longest period of time to a guy you saw briefly, more often than not, when somebody in that situation has to say, I don't want to see you anymore, either you're ghosting or you're ending things, more often than not, you're doing the breakup, whatever it is, more often than not, is it you or the guy?
In my case, it's been the guy.
Okay. Well,
Like ending the relationship?
ending the relationship, but this could also be you hung out with the guy 2 or 3 times, so not like a full-blown relationship, but it's like, I no longer want to see you.
Me. Like if I don't want to.
How many relationships have you had?
7.
7 relationships?
Yeah.
And you've ended all of them?
No, not all of them.
How many?
I'd say about.
Of the 7?
4.
Okay.
Majority.
Yeah.
All right, what about you?
I've definitely ended them.
All of them?
Not all, but majority.
Majority, okay. What about you?
I've ended all of them.
Vast majority I ended, except for like maybe once or twice it was from like location issues.
Okay, what about you?
Mine was the guy.
I've been broken up with more than I've done the breaking up.
Yeah.
Sorry. What about you?
I've been broken up within my relationships, but like 3 days, I'm usually the one to like stop things from going further.
Okay. So we got a couple mixed answers here, but I mean, I didn't really write down or keep track, but like we've asked this question to other women, and sometimes we'll go around the panel and every single girl will say, I overwhelmingly end relationships. So what's interesting to me is women like to complain about men are commitment phobic, they're scared of commitment, but once you do get the commitment, women seem to overwhelmingly end the commitment. So who's really scared of commitment?
Is it really them being scared of commitment or being committed to the wrong guy?
Well, perhaps you committed to the wrong person, but I don't know.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
ending the commitment. Anyways, I don't know. We were talking about divorce or something.
I would say definitely if it shows that studies have shown that women, you know, are the ones who initiate breakups and all that, I think obviously that lands on us. But in my specific experience, this is just for me. My ex gave me the commitment and I was ready to commit, but he totally switched up, so I had to leave.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm a little confused here. So I don't know if that answers your thing or.
I think a lot of guys do switch up. Like at first they're willing to put in this like
They're willing
effort
to wow
that
you, they're
see.
willing to, and then all of a sudden
then
they
they're like,
stop
oh.
trying.
And
I
women,
have
they wear
her.
makeup, but then you see them without makeup eventually, and they're not as attractive, you know, as they were when they were wearing the makeup.
Not everyone.
What's your?
You're switching up. You guys are
We went from
switching
deep,
up.
and then you went to like surface level.
Yeah, that's a shame.
You could figure that out pretty soon. Just take her
I
swimming.
feel like
Take her
commitment though.
swimming. Is there any other things that make me a woman that gives woman hater?
Yeah, we'll end it there. I think that.
What you got? What you got for me?
No, you're not. You're great.
It is a pretty strong accusation, you know.
Yeah,
It wasn't an
pretty crazy.
accusation. I said there are ways that you speak and generalizations that you make that sort of give women hater.
Okay, so I'll again go back to the marriage thing. So you're saying that I say, well, in the event of divorce, men tend to get pretty screwed over, especially if they're the breadwinner. Women overwhelmingly initiate divorces. This is just statistically true.
Yes.
And then if men are overwhelmingly breadwinners, then they're getting kind of like financially reamed. I would argue, even if the woman has good intention, navigating a divorce typically involves a lawyer. And I believe my understanding is that the lawyer might stand to benefit by either dragging on the divorce case, or I'm not entirely sure if lawyers will get, I don't think it's the case that they get a percentage. I think that's unlikely. I don't want to make that argument because I don't know, but the lawyer, even if they don't get like a commission or a percentage or whatever it's called, they obviously want to get the most for their client. That's their legal duty. That's their job. So even if the woman is like, well, I just kind of want an amicable divorce, well, the lawyer has an incentive to rack up as much billable hours as possible. By the way, typically, I think my understanding, the breadwinner is going to have to pay for not just his divorce lawyer, but her divorce lawyer too. So that's an added expense on top of what's going to happen in the divorce. And the divorce attorneys are very good at argumentation and persuasion and convincing. So you could have all good intentions as the woman going in, although I would argue that probably most women are desirous of getting what they're owed under what I view as kind of unjust bullshit divorce laws, and marriage laws. The lawyer, even if she's totally good-willed and doesn't want to screw you over financially, the lawyer is like, well, listen, you are legally entitled to XYZ. And then she's, oh, well, okay, she's not going to navigate the legal divorce court system on her own. The lawyer is going to be like, well, you can go for this. There's going to be equitable distribution of community property. We're going to get you spousal support. You've been married this long. You're owed this much spousal support. Here's your husband's income. You're owed this much. Boom.
But
that's not woman hating.
No, I know, but that's what I mean. Like that, it's giving like so much resentment.
Gives you the ick.
No. It's giving so much resentment the way you just like went off about that and will like pull that out of left field instead of being, and like obviously yes, those are the true stats.
Stating the facts is. I don't understand.
Yeah, but that's not stating the facts. It's not like, okay, one time, women initiate divorces the most. It's like out of left field, and then it's going
you literally brought up the topipic. How's it out of left field?
But earlier was pretty out of left field.
What was out of left field?
I can't remember where it was brought up.
She can't remember.
No. It was with the AI. It was with the AI.
What about the AI? Are we just shifting the goalposts here? What?
No. But that is what I mean. Instead of being like, oh, damn, I wonder why women are initiating divorce the most. It's just like this resentment.
What are your thoughts on prenups?
I mean, if you're inclined to get married, you should probably have one, but they can be challenged and they can be thrown out.
Oh.
Yep. So
I didn't know that.
I don't think it's resentment. I'm just stating the facts. I mean, I suppose it does grind my gears a little bit that men are getting demolished in these family courts, which tend to have a bias against men. They get absolutely demolished financially. For example, a woman could cheat on you, and under the current laws, you could still have to pay her alimony. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Not with a prenup. If you
Well,
put that in there. Just saying.
Okay, fine. But let's say there's not a prenup. I don't know what the percentage is of marriages that involve a prenup, but who knows? But it's not resentful to just point out, hey, here's how men are kind of not getting the best treatment in the court system.
Do you resent women at all? Sorry.
No, I do not resent women at all.
Okay, that's fair then. My bad. I was wrong.
Those are just interesting associations.
Do you resent men?
No. Actually, I try and steer my thoughts away from like.
How do you
fear
resent
around
men?
I don't, but I think I have a lot of fear around men from experience. But I try and redirect